Hi everyone, it's Stephanie Thompson back with you for another episode of Read Your Library. This particular shelf of fiction we started the series with is proving really fun for me because I'm digging up all kinds of cool books that I enjoyed, and I'm really happy to share them with you. And this next one is no exception. It's another New York Times bestseller that I picked up a few years ago, The Post-Birthday World by Lionel Shriver. And what I really enjoyed about this book is it's got a very interesting structure. It's an alternative speculative kind of narrative, meaning that the main character, Irina, in chapter 1, at the end of the chapter, has to make a decision about something. And then based on what decision she made, one way or the other, the chapters split after that, and the narrative goes in two directions. There's two chapter 2s, two chapter 3s, and each story goes in a different direction depending on whether she made the decision one way or the other. So it's interesting as the reader follows the stories along to see what the writer thinks would have happened if she'd gone one way, and for you to get vested kind of in it, which decision you would have made or you think she should have made, whether the story works out or not, and how her story takes on a very different path depending on which decision it was. The other interesting thing about this book, for me at least, is one of the main characters that is very key to this decision and the split in Irina's story is a professional snooker player she meets. And if you don't know what snooker is, it's a British form of billiards or pool that's actually much more complex and difficult to play than billiards or pool. And in my case, I was fortunate enough that when I was 15, my father taught me to play snooker. And so I have a real appreciation for it. And when I briefly lived in London as a college student, I used to sometimes watch professional snooker matches on television, which was really confusing to my roommates because they thought it was about as interesting as watching paint dry. But if you play snooker or you've tried, watching the professionals play is fascinating because they're really good and it's really difficult. So it's fascinating to watch. So that was part of the book I found really interesting, was it kind of delved into the world of professional snooker a bit, among other things. Anyway, this is a fun book to read. If you've seen the movie Sliding Doors, it's kind of like that, only with 100% less Gwyneth Paltrow. So depending on how you feel about Gwynny, that could be a good or bad thing. I hope you enjoy it if you choose to read it, and thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time on Read Your Library.